Hello everybody, welcome to Dakman Productions and welcome to Conrail. If you are new to Dakman Productions, Conrail is a high rail O-gauge layout with all true scale trains. And I do have, so those who don't forget, I do have a MPC era traditional layout as well, so I actually have two different layouts in my basement. I mostly focus on Conrail. Once in a while I'll make runs on my traditional, but I'm always over here. I just love the legacy and the scale trains, even though when I was a kid I loved the MPC era as well. But also letting everybody know, I just don't make these videos and put them on YouTube and then walk away. I like to see what other YouTube channels are doing as well. Yes, I do watch other YouTube channels. And I try to encourage those who are starting off in the O-gauge hobby, making their videos, because this is not easy to start up and keep at it and keep doing, obviously. I went through a couple different phases myself starting YouTube in 2010, so I know how hard this can be to start and get an audience. And I'll watch any O-gauge YouTube channel, especially ones getting started, to help encourage them. And because, I gotta face it, I'm not going to be here forever. Somebody's got to take my spot, or others taking my spot in doing this. So with that being said, I do make sure to subscribe to new O-gauge YouTube channels, watch their stuff, seeing what they're doing, put in my input, give them some comments, and I'll help out any YouTube channel that asks for advice or whatever have you. I know it seems like sometimes I'm a little rough around the edges when it comes to my personality, but trust me, I've been in the trucking industry for 35 years, so that industry in the first 25 years was pretty rough to work in, so sometimes that shows in my personality, but I don't mean anything by it. So for this video, I'm going to call this the Big Blue series, and I'm thinking there's going to be like 3 different series to this, but I'm naming this the Big Blue series, and this has nothing to do with CSX, because CSX was not the original Big Blue. And I know CSX fans are going to probably hate me for saying that, but in my opinion, I believe that's true. Conrail was the original Big Blue, no matter what CSX says. Anyway, so I'm going to put together 3 different series of this Big Blue. And what's driving this is I'm seeing other YouTube channels getting into Conrail. And this is super exciting. I'm glad to see other YouTube channels getting into Conrail, buying Conrail, running Conrail. It's like, yeah, all right. Conrail's spreading around. So I'm going to give a shout out to a few channels here. So you got Next Crossing, who bought a K-Line Conrail GP38-2. That was a cool unit that he got. Really like that. Then Dave from DA Griffin, he got a, somebody actually gifted him a Lionel Legacy Conrail switcher. That was a cool gift, and I'm sure he's going to enjoy that, especially using Bluetooth. Then you have Chris's Trainz and Things, who bought a cool third rail Conrail GP9. I didn't even know the third rail even made a Conrail GP9 until he showed it on his video. Great piece. I wish that Lionel, if you're watching this, you should make a Lionel Legacy Conrail GP9. Put that on your list. Like they're going to watch that, this video. But anyway, then you have Chris's Trainz and More, which is different than Chris's Trainz and Things. So you got Chris's Trainz and More, who's a big Conrail fan like myself. He runs Conrail as well. Then you have JD Stucks, Jason's O-gauge Trainz. Big, huge Norfolk Southern fan. All of a sudden, now he's getting into Conrail, a predecessor to Norfolk Southern. So that's cool to see him getting into the Big Blue, which eventually becomes Norfolk Southern. as he's finding out, it's hard to come up with some of the Conrail trains, which is why I'm doing these series, which I'll explain a little bit more here in a minute. And then one more shout out, we'll do PGH Train Fanatics, who's also got a couple Conrail pieces, including the Conrail OCS train and the Conrail T1 steam locomotive that I just know one day that he's going to give to me for a Christmas present. I can hear him right now. He's like, yeah, right, Dak, man. Keep dreaming. But anyway, so if you're into Conrail, drop me comments, and I'll mention you in the part 2 of the series. I think there's going to be 3 parts. So what's driving me to do this is seeing these other channels getting into Conrail, and they're saying how hard it is to find, which a lot of this is. And I'm like, hey, you know, I got quite a huge collection of Conrail, which is probably why you guys can't find any, but just kidding. But yeah, I got quite a huge collection. I'm like, all right, since there's channels getting into Conrail, I'll run my collection by brand name so they can see what was made. So that's what this video is going to focus on. So we're going to do the Big Blue series. Part 1 is going to be all my Atlas O, which I have set up out here. So today we're going to run a Conrail only train. Everything on there is Atlas O except for the locomotives. I wish I had Atlas O Conrail locomotives, but I don't. And yeah, I would buy them because the Atlas O Master Series had line-out TMCC and rail sounds in them. So, as people know, I'm not exactly an MTH DCS fan, so that's why I stick with TMCC and Legacy. So, my second series is probably going to be line-out, and then the final one is going to be my Conrail MTH collection, which is probably the biggest collection I have. So that's my plans for the 3 parts. So if you're a big Conrail fan, put it in the comments, and I'll make sure I shout out to you on part 2 of the Big Blue series. So without further ado, let's check out my Conrail Atlas O train. Again, everything on there is either Atlas O Master Series, which is top of the line, has all the separately applied details. Atlas Train Man, which has molded in details. And then the Atlas Premier, which is the former MTH molds. And even the caboose on this train is Atlas O as well. Again, running line-out locomotives. So if you see something in the video and you're not sure of a stock number or what it was, make sure you ask in the comments with the timeline of the video, and I'll be sure to answer your questions so you can properly look for whatever you're interested in out there on the open, wide open, wild O-gauge market that's out there today. So let's get started.
This is the dispatcher. Do you copy?
Roger that. I read you. Over.
Very good. Start up and hold.
Copy that. Ready to start this trip. Out. Tower, air test complete. Am I clear? Over.
Negative. Please stand by.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed the run. Just so there's no confusion, this is not a for sale video like Motor Craze does on his channel. He likes to sell stuff and show it running before he sells it, which is a good idea. But that's not what this video is about. I'm not selling anything. I'm just trying to show people other channels what I have in my collection, or even viewers, and that might be interested in what I have, and so they know what was made by Atlas O and the Conrail road name, and then hit the shows or eBay. And I don't know. You know, you would have to offer me a ridiculous amount of money for me to sell any of this stuff right now. But at any rate, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, this is part 1. Part 2 will end up being Lionel. Catch you guys trackside. We'll catch you later. Goodbye.